Okay, so this is going to be a video about data structures and then a secret, well, not a secret, but a special bonus so that you can do the homework because the homework includes taking in some input and doing some fancy and strange things with it so that we can complete the homework. So, lists. Let's do this. Foods. We're going to type in a few of my favorite foods. Not paste, pasta. We'll do steak, why not? Now, if I now print foods, you can see that the list is going to be printed. I can even use array indexing, and this will print out cheeseburger. I can do -1, that'll be steak. I can do 1, and that'll be pasta. I can even do math inside of this, and that'll be steak. You might be thinking, wow, teacher, why is 0 pasta? Sorry, why is 0 cheeseburger, 1 pasta, and 2 steak? Well, the reason being is because computers count from 0. So this will be 0, 1, 2. So whatever the number inside of this is equivalent to, is the same as, that is the position it will take in the list. So if we do 5 minus 4, which is equal to 1, so it will be 0, 1. So that should be pasta. If we just did -3, that should be cheeseburger, I believe. There we go. And if we do 0, that'll be cheeseburger too, because -3 starts from steak. And it's a bit strange, but you can't have -0. So going backwards, it starts from -1, -2, -3. And from the front, it's 0, 1, and 2. Good. We can also do things like foods that append. Let's add kimchi, since most of you are Korean, and we'll get rid of cheeseburger because why not? There's no reason. I'm just getting rid of it. Okay. Now if I type in foods, you can see that cheeseburger is removed and kimchi is now here. What about if I want to replace something based on the position it's at? So steak is at position 1 in our list. If we take a look at the console, it's at position 1. So let's do foods, position 1 is now equal to, let's make it equal to golden steak. I don't know what a golden steak is, but we're making it fun. You can see now pasta, golden steak, kimchi. Good. So the important thing about lists is that we can actually change the values inside of a list super easily. Right, we can even do things like this. Actually, we'll do this for tuples, but we can do it for lists too. We can do for food in foods, print food, and this is going to go through all the list items and just print it out. So it should be pasta, golden steak, kimchi, right? And actually matches the order here. So all this does is it goes through each list item, assigns it a temporary variable of food, prints it out, and then does the same for the next list item. So for each item, for each food, inside of foods, print that food. So if you use descriptive variable names, it's actually quite easy to understand. Okay, good. We'll get rid of that. Tuples. What about tuples? Well, tuples are a bit different. Tuples cannot be changed. So it'd be good to use for things like colors, right? Where we can have red, green, and blue. If I can type, there we go. Perfect. Now if we print colors, it should be red, green, blue. Wonderful, amazing. However, we cannot change things here. So we cannot say colors at the position 0 is now equal to black. There should be a name error, I believe, or a type error. There we go, type error, yes. Tuple object does not support assignment, like so. There's also something else we can do. So we cannot reassign items, and we cannot append items, we cannot remove items, because everything inside of this list is now defined. We cannot change it in any way. However, we can still access those items by using array indexing. So if we print colors at position 0, this should be red. Good. And that is everything you need to know about tuples. They are immutable, meaning they cannot be mutated, cannot be mutated, and therefore cannot be changed, right? That's what immutable means. Okay, dictionaries. Now I'm going to copy and paste this inside here. There we go. We have scores. Now I can do lots of interesting things with dictionaries. If I do scores, if I do print scores.keys, this is going to print off all the keys, which is math, science, and English. I can also do the same with items, or rather values. So I'll do values here. And I can also do the same with items. Now keys uses the key value, which is what we use to open the value, which is the thing next to the key. Items just takes the entire thing. So if we run this, you can see what I mean. So the first thing is dictionary keys. Math, science, English. Dictionary values. 95, 88, 92. And here we have dictionary items, which is everything inside. Great. Now that might be a bit complicated. It's actually, matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll print some spaces in between this, just so it's a little bit easier to see, right? There we go. So that should be clearer to see. You can see how dictionary items is just the same thing as dictionary keys and values together in the same order. So what else can we do? Well, we can change things like so. We can add a new subject by just adding it like so and giving it a value of 100. Now, if we print off scores, you'll see history. There we go. What about if we retake our science exam and we want to change the score for science? Well, we can do so by typing in science, and now it's going to be 95. You can see that science has now been updated to 95. Really good. Using the items attribute, we can also loop through the items. So we can say for subject and score, subject will be the key and score will be the value. We can say in score.items print subject score. Good. Oh, why is that? Oh, there we go. Okay, so it prints off everything, the keys and the values too. And these are called key value pairs when you look at them together. Okay, this AI assistant is very annoying. Is there any way I can remove this? Okay, well, that's fine. Okay, so now your homework. What do you want to do? For your homework, there's some important things you need to know. I'll get rid of all of this. Let's say input. Enter your input as coordinates. What are coordinates? Well, I'll show you. Coordinates will look like, or rather, this should be coordinates, there we go. And this should say input. Silly mistake. Okay. Enter your input as coordinates. I can now type in here, right? Can you see that? So I can type in 1, 0. And these are what coordinates look like. We want to give this clue to our user though, right? So we can say something like X, Y, just so they know the format that we want to put it in. There we go. Makes things much easier, right? Good. So now if I print coordinates, you can see that whatever I type in here is now going to be printed. So I can type in 1, 1. And 1, 1 was printed. Really good. So what I want you to do is I want you to make 3 things. Make an empty inventory list. Make a treasure tuple with 3 coordinates that have loot inside. This should say make a treasure dictionary with a tuple key that have 3 coordinates with loot inside. This seems complicated, right? It's not. I'm going to give you an example right now. So treasures, this is the dictionary, and you can actually write a dictionary in this way too. So we can say the tuple is going to be, for example, 0, 0, which is not going to change because a coordinate will not change, right? And now I'm making this tuple into a key. So the value is going to be gold coin. So this is the dictionary, this is a tuple, and this is the dictionary key, and this is the dictionary value. So the dictionary key in our situation is actually a tuple that can never be changed, which makes sense for us, right? We don't want the coordinates to change. We don't want the coordinates of the treasure to change. Really good. So I want you to make a few more of these. One more, one more, one more. And don't make the coordinates too big, right? You can make them fairly small. Okay. Or the coordinate grid fairly small. And the other thing is, if you notice at the start, when I typed in our input, so if I type in 10, it prints out the comma too. I don't want the comma, right? What do I want? Well, I want to save each coordinate separately, is what I want to do. So how do I do that? Super easy. This is what I do. Okay, I can say, like so. We can do it like coordinates, or rather, yeah, we'll do row and column. So we'll do row column is now going to be equal to coordinates split. And inside of this, we're going to put a comma. So now this tells Python to split everything that is outside of the comma. This should be a method. There we go. And if I print row and col, we can now get whatever I typed in as two numbers. So you can see it gets rid of the comma. Now we can use this to check to see if it matches our tuples, right? So this is a little bit of what you need right here. I'll get rid of that. Line 3 and 4 is what you'll need to make sure the input is in a way that the Python program can read. And then you want to write a conditional statement to double check that the row and col here match the tuple or the tuple dictionary key, which is defined as coordinates. There is one more thing before you use the conditional statement. So it should be something like this. If position in treasures. And matter of fact, we should actually put this a little bit higher. Maybe here. There we go. Perfect and good. Like so. But you'll need to convert this row and column back into a tuple. How do you do that? It's really easy, okay? All we do is this. Just how we defined a tuple before, we can do the same. So now if I print pos, it's actually going to be a tuple. Let's check that. 1, 1. You see it's 1, 1 here, right? Now we have our tuple that we can check against our treasure dictionary tuple keys. Great. So that's everything you need to complete this homework. I'm going to get rid of all of this, right? Because you don't need it anymore. So this is what you need to do. Make an empty inventory list. Make a treasure dictionary with a tuple key that have 3 coordinates with loot inside. Good. Convert or split the input based on a comma. You can also convert back into a tuple. Conditional statement to check if user found treasure. That's what you need to do, okay? And perfect, yeah, that's everything you need to know for the homework, and that should be fairly clear. I know I went through a few different topics there, but oh, why is my screen? There we go. I know I went through a few different topics there, but hopefully it was fairly clear as to what you need to do. And I'm trusting you to see yourself through this homework. It's not too difficult, but you do need to think about this a little bit. It's a little bit of a problem you need to solve. So I expect that this homework, including watching the video, might take around 45 minutes. So have a wonderful day, and I hope this homework is as useful as I think it's going to be. Goodbye.